Hey guys, welcome to the Cosmic Panel. Just wanted to give a little update that for the indefinite future, we're just going to be doing weekly polls. Me and Elias have been very busy with some stuff in our background and lives, so we haven't had as much time as we would like to make a multitude of content for you guys. But weekly polls is still going to be going, and once we are more free, we plan to have a lot of cool stuff in the chamber. So just an update. Just wanted to let you guys know.
The Chamber of Secrets.
The chamber of revolver guns.
The Russian roulette chamber.
Yeah, you never know whether you're gonna get a cosmic panel video or I don't know what's the worst option for.
Or a white car jump scare video.
Anyway, yeah, just wanted to give you that update. I'm now going to throw it back to Elias, who's going to be talking about our sponsor for this week.
Hey everybody, just want to remind you that the weekly Comic Pull series is sponsored by Comic Universe. Located at 446 McDade Boulevard in Folsom, PA, these guys have a lovely back issue selection, key selection, graded books selection, toys, and much, much more. Mike and Mike hooked us up with this sponsorship at Comic Universe, so we want to thank you guys very much, and we want to encourage you guys to go visit them. Right now, they're running a sale. They're doing $5 trade paperbacks, $10 hardbacks, and they got quite the selection, as you guys can see in the videos I provided here. So definitely give them a visit. They're nice guys. If you see them, definitely tell them that we sent you. And they also have new comics every single week. So definitely stop by there. They got great stock and a very nicely organized shop. Thank you to Comic Universe for sponsoring this series. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below what you guys are excited to pull this week, and thanks for watching. Let's get right into the pulls. Lucas, what is your first pull for this week?
So my first poll for this week is Rogue Sun number 18. This is going to be the end of the Rogue Sun arc, the story arc we've been kind of building up for the past 8 issues. This is basically the culmination of that. And yeah, I've been really enjoying it. It's been really good. Basically, Dylan's body got taken over by one of his ancestors, and now Dylan has finally broken free of the Sunstone. Is in a suit of armor that his soul is currently possessing, and he's going to try to reclaim his body from Caleb, his ancestor, who was a medieval knight who really thinks that humanity has fallen off, and now at this point is like, yeah, just let the monsters take over. The humans got too complacent, basically. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen.
Very nice.
What about you, Elias? What's your first pick?
My first pick for this week is going to be Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum #1. I've been itching for a new Suicide Squad series for some time. And this is going to be a prequel to the Kill the Justice League game. So I'm curious to see what they have in store for us story wise. We got John Layman on writing and Jesus Hervas on art. Um, so pretty solid team. And yeah, I'm just curious to see what they're planning in this universe here. Um, I've people have been complaining about the game already, but I'm not one to listen to reviews super heavy, and I'm glad that they're doing a comic, to really show that they care about the overall world of it. And yeah, I'm excited to see what this book holds.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to say the least.
Lucas, what's your next pick?
My next pick is actually going to be Love Everlasting number 12. Um, Last issue, we finally got an origin for the cowboy. So we're actually finally getting answers. We're getting some answers that we've been wanting for a long time at this point. Tom King, always the slow burner of an architect for a story. He likes to let his story kind of like fill the room, and so but yeah, now we're getting the full story for Cowboy, and hopefully after this we get more of the explanation about what's happening to Joan, where is she, what is this world, and everything else. So yeah, last issue was cool. Last issue was a nice comeback from the break, and we haven't seen Joan yet, like the current Joan, the one that's kind of gone crazy at this point. But I expect that when we cut back to Joan, it's not going to be pretty. I expect her to lie littered in the fields of bodies that she has murdered.
I feel like we've said what we think the next issue is going to be, and then I open up the issue and it's like not what I want. So yeah, I had to drop this book. You can let me know how it goes,
Yeah,
but it's just too much of a slow burn for me. And at this point, I'm just not getting enough answers. It's just kind of, a repeat of the romance story over and over again, just with different kind of twists every time. And you know, as much as I might enjoy that, if it was the only book I was reading, I'm reading way too much other stuff to just dedicate like time to let that slow burn like have the effect of insanity on me. And I think that's what he's going for there. But
yeah,
it's just too little going on at this point, and when we're so deep into the series for me. That's just me though.
yeah. The basic gist of the cowboy is basically that his brother married Joan, and then his brother died in a shootout, and then he dated Joan, and then as soon as he kissed her for the first time, she disappeared, and so he's like, "Wait, where'd you go?" And that was like how the issue ended.
Yep.
So now at least there's confirmation that the worlds don't like just fucking die when Joan leaves. Like it's actually like
Hmm.
they continue on past her leaving. So but yeah,
Yeah.
I guess she just always disappears, which is kind of wild. So like
Mm.
all those situations, I guess she just literally just disappeared out of existence. Anyway, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be Thanos number 3. I gotta say, issue 2 I did not love. Issue 1 I was really enjoying, funnily enough, because it had little to no superheroes in it. Um, First issue was like a lot more abstract. Second issue I wasn't super thrilled by. It was a little too goofy in the writing. Um, I was hoping for a more serious tone out of this, but this is a mini series that does have a goal to accomplish. So I hope it is able to do so. Um, I also feel like the covers by Lionel Francis Yu are not matching the vibe of the interiors very much. But again, like this has potential, and I'm curious to see what's up with Death inhabiting Roberta's body or how exactly that works. Um, and this is a cool Illuminati team that I enjoy seeing in the field. But right now, last issue is a little too comedic for me.
Yeah, I haven't read this series other than the first issue. I thought it was okay, and then I kind of dropped it. But from what I'm understanding, this is pretty interesting. It's dealing with Thanos, dealing with death, which I feel like they haven't talked in a minute, so this makes perfect sense. Um,
Basically, he's going after this woman who he thinks is Death, but this woman has no recollection of being Death or being anyone other than herself.
yeah,
So it was an interesting concept, and they really just spent time with Roberta, the character, in the first issue, and then
yeah,
second issue they sort of just went into like a silly action sequence and didn't really do it for me. But I have high hopes that they can still stick a landing here.
yeah. And apparently there's only 4 issues, which is good. I mean, Cantwell knows how to pace a story, which is nice. But also, I'm not gonna lie, the fourth issue's cover is kind of nuts. It kind of goes hard.
Yeah, I mean the covers are great. I just don't think they really match
Oh
the
no, definitely
vibe of
not.
the interiors or the vibe of the story in general.
Oh,
Honestly,
definitely not. I 100% agree with you. I just think
yeah.
if Thanos does
No,
become the
Lionel
new,
Francis Yu is fantastic. Like, yeah, kills it.
I'm just thinking that like if Thanos becomes the new embodiment of death, that'd be actually one of probably the coolest things they've done with Thanos in a while. Honestly.
All right, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is Ultimate Black Panther #1. Um, I really did enjoy Ultimate Spider-Man #1. I'm liking how this universe is shaping up, but on top of that, um, Wakanda and Moon Knight kind of meshing within like the same story is very very interesting for me because I mean I love Wakanda, but one of the things I always found a little bit hard to get into was the fact that T'Challa was a king and came from a place of power. Therefore, he never really. It felt like he never really suffered in the same way that some of his like people that live in his country did. Um, but this is basically taking that away and building him up from scratch. Um, so I'm very excited because it seems like T'Challa is going to be trying to take over and fight the Moon Knights, basically, so that he can regain control of the continent of Africa, which I think that's a super compelling synopsis for a story with Black Panther. Making Wakanda basically this beacon of hope within an entire continent of just oppression is incredibly unique. Um, do I like the fact that they're making Moon Knight the bad guys? Not necessarily, but I think this is fine for the Ultimate Universe, honestly, because like we don't know what Moon Knights they are. We we just know that one of them is Lord Khonshu. That's his name, and it looks like to be Badir. Um, but we don't have a confirmation, and um, yeah, I'm just down. Honestly, let's see what happens.
Yeah, the Ultimate Universe, is meant for experimentation, is meant to defeat expectations, that kind of thing. So I think this is a good premise, and having new origins for these heroes that we know and love is going to be fun. It's interesting just to see them. I don't know. I guess what do you want to say? Transform or come into their hero status so much later down the line. So I'll be curious to see where T'Challa has been all this time leading up to this series. So yeah, this will be interesting.
Also, I will say I do like the new costume design. I like that the mouth is visible and stuff like that. Like, it's cool. It's cool.
Word.
What's next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be Poison Ivy number 19. I'm very happy to see Marcio Takara back on this book, the artist, and I am surprised though to see that this is a bit of a detour arc. We're doing a secret origin situation. Last issue was revealed that Woodrue um, has been able to come back from. I guess he was just kind of incubating in Pamela, which is terrifying. And so all the like the pregnant covers that you've been seeing, she just gave birth to Woodrue, which is pretty scary.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty horrific, honestly.
so this is a bit of a detour arc, and it looks like it's going to be 3 parts. So that's kind of a shame. But this book has just been very strong in general, and they have been doing a great job of characterizing Pamela well, characterizing Harley and all the other surrounding characters very well. Killer Croc has been a lot of fun. Solomon Grundy has been a lot of fun. So yeah, I have no doubt that this series will continue to go well.
Yeah, I mean, if G. Willow Wilson thinks that we need this arc, I trust her enough to give her time to really see it through. But yeah, no, I mean, last issue ended on that huge cliffhanger. But I will say the art has definitely, in the past couple issues, there was a lot more that could have been done. Some of the paneling felt weird. Actions weren't conveyed as well as they could have been for me personally. But yeah, no, I mean, now that we're getting the artist that started the series off, Marcio Takara, um, I expect it to pick up again.
Yeah, I'm happy to see him back.
Also, when's the last time we even got like a reorigin of Poison Ivy? To be honest, like I genuinely can't even think of it. So honestly, this is probably much needed at this point.
Sure, sure. Lucas, what's your next pick?
My next pick is the one hand number one, Ramvi detective book. Do I need to say anything else? I will anyway. Uh, Basically, this is a story about this serial killer called the One Hand Killer, who this detective Ari Nasser has apparently arrested multiple times, twice before, and now apparently a new murder has occurred with all the trademarks basically of the One Hand Killer, and now he's trying to figure out was the person I arrested previously. the actual person, or is this a copycat, or is this the original person, the other person a copycat? But either way, Ram V, very very excited to see what's going to happen. And Lawrence Campbell and Lee Luridge are doing really cool work with the art here.
Yeah. Um, I will read anything Ramvi does at this point. I trust him enough to always create an interesting story, a unique story, and this is going to be a noir vibe from him. So it's very exciting.
Yeah. Anyway, what's next for you, Elias?
Next up for me is going to be Captain America #6. While I am not thrilled that the fill-in artist Lon Medina has completely taken over this book, the plot and concept that Straczynski's been laying out has been very strong, and Doctor Strange is the featured guest of many comics already this year. So I always enjoy some Doctor Strange time, and kind of showing that Cap has to still deal with new stuff that he's not super experienced in. But yeah, this has just been really cool flashback book for Cap, showing his early days fighting off the Nazi sympathizers and the Nazis in America pre World War II, and yeah, this just has been a very solid story, and I'm excited to see it continue. This should be wrapping up this arc pretty shortly, and I hope to see Jesus Saiz back, but for
So
now,
far, it doesn't seem like.
it's going to be some fill-in artists, which is just a shame because Marvel's release schedule's a bit of a mess now. But either way, I will still try and enjoy this story for what it is, and it has been strong. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I 100% agree. I think it's funny that Steven is just a little puppet in this scenario. I think that's still very funny. But yeah, no, Cap is kind of trapped with the emissary now. It doesn't really have anywhere to hide now, so yeah, I don't know how he's going to be able to take him down. Hopefully, he can. But yeah, he's definitely going to need Doctor Strange's help.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to your final pick, Lucas. What is your final pick for February 7th?
Yeah, so my final pick is Venom number 30. Venom number 29 had basically a lot of the answers I wanted. We finally got an origin for Meridius. We finally got an explanation for everything, at least from Meridius's point of view about what he's trying to achieve, what he's trying to do. And so now we're finally getting to the point where Eddie Brock, the one that we know, that we like, is basically going to be facing off against the alternate versions of himself in the garden. This is now kind of diverging from the intended plan of everything. So I'm very, very excited to see what's going to be happening.
Unfortunately for me, the Black Widow arc just left a bad taste in my mouth, and I'm very much venomed out at this point.
That's fair.
Um, you know, I love Al, but he's been sidetracked and sidelined a few times now by other plot points, and this is something that I wanted to see much sooner. And while I appreciate that, this is like a time faring story, which should take place over a long extended period of time. The fill in stuff when Al is not there has just been not optimal to me. So I'm just I'm hoping that this arc is strong, but it has a lot of like cleaning up to do, especially because I know what they want to do after this as well. So I hope
Yeah.
it's good. I hope it's good.
Yeah. I like the title Brock and Forth. So cheesy. Ewing always just comes up with some of the cheesiest titles for his issues. It's very funny. What's your final pick, Elias?
My final pick for this week is, of course, going to be X-Men #31. Last issue was a unique one for sure, with Phil Noto on art, and he's also going to be on art on this one. It gave a very what's the word, Renaissance feel to the last issue, and they did very much treat it that way with like the tarot cards showing like the lovers and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. a surprisingly tragic story with High Evolutionary, and now Sync has taken Talon into his own mind because the High Evolutionary killed her. So that was pretty intense. But they are, progressing on, their adventure, their fight against OIias, but showing that, there's going to be many tragedies along the way still. So it was a solid issue. I'm kind of not thrilled that Phil is going to be continuing to do the art on these next few issues, because to me, like, he has a very particular vibe. And this issue is going to be a lot of like Nimrod fighting and stuff like that. So I would have liked to see someone else on there.
Yeah.
But telling Marvel to not have a fill-in artist every other issue is like Lucas said, like yelling at a brick wall. So, but either way, X-Men has been a very solid book. So I'm excited to read this one.
Yeah, no. I mean, I remember Phil Noto is definitely better in like dialogue situations rather than action scenes. I like his art, but yeah, I 100% agree. I actually didn't catch the last issue. I completely forgot to read it. But yeah, no, sounds like the
Oops.
arc is sounds like the arc is progressing very interestingly, and I mean, I'm definitely excited to see Nimrod take on everyone. It was funny. I literally read every other X book except for this one. I completely forgot to read
No.
the X Men book. Yeah, I know, right? The only one. Yeah, exactly. So that's on me. That's on me. But yeah, no. I mean, I'm very excited. But yeah, uh, like, subscribe. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this week's polls, and definitely comment down below what you guys are pulling. Remember to support your local comic shop and read comics. Till next week.